This is something the drug companies really don't want you to know about. Have you noticed that more and more people are getting these skin tags around their neck? A lot of people also get this protruding belly with this hard, visceral fat. And sometimes around the neck, in folds of skin, there will be this darker pigmentation on the face and the neck. These are all signs and symptoms of insulin resistance. Right now in the United States, insulin resistance and prediabetes is a huge problem. 1 out of 3 American adults are pre-diabetic. The insulin resistance is the #1 contributor to PCOS in women. It's also the #1 contributor to erectile dysfunction in men. It causes lots of skin problems, constant hunger, and cravings. Now, if somebody had a real solution to address the root cause, the insulin resistance, you'd think everybody would know about it, right? Wrong. If you ask your parents or grandparents, they will all recognize the name Rexall drugs. Back in the 1990s, Rexall came out with this blend of fiber. At the time, nobody had any idea that this blend of fiber was going to change the world. One day, the CEO is giving a presentation on what the fiber formula does. He's talking about how it naturally lowers cholesterol and triglyceride levels without any medication. And a woman in the back of the room raises her hand. The woman in the back of the room told the CEO that she'd been losing weight and that this product had helped her control her blood sugar levels. This led to a clinical study at the University of Sydney, the home of the glycemic index. This is a study that should have been headline news, but instead it was buried and nobody ever heard about it. The study showed that taking the fiber formula before meals reduced blood sugar by 20 to 30%. If you're a type 2 diabetic or a pre-diabetic and you can simply take a fiber formula before your meals and reduce your glucose and insulin spikes by 20 to 30%, that changes everything. The fiber formula has 4 different patents on it, which means none of the drug companies could copy it. And because the drug companies don't own the patent on it, you've never heard of it. But any doctor in the United States can simply go to the PDR.net and look up the formula. About the same time as the Sydney study, there was a doctor in Toronto named Dr. Jason Fung who wrote a book called The Diabetes Code. And in his book, he talks about how to reverse insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, naturally. In Fung's clinic at the University of Toronto, most of the patients with type 2 diabetes have a complete reversal of the disease and are off all medications in 3 to 6 months. It's no secret that Jason Fung accomplished this with intermittent fasting. So the Rexall guys said, well, if we know that the right blend of fiber can drastically reduce glucose and insulin spikes, and if we also know that intermittent fasting is great for reducing excess body fat and improving metabolic health, why don't we just combine the two? Here's how it works. Every time you eat a meal, you simply have the fiber formula first. And when it's time to do the intermittent fasting, you sip another product which helps keep your insulin levels low and burn body fat for fuel. I heard about this, put it to the test, and my love handles disappeared. This is my friend Scott. He was a type 2 diabetic for 20 years. He lost 70 pounds and got off all of his medications. The cool thing is the company guarantees that it works and gives a 90-day money-back guarantee. And you can prove that it works with a blood test that you do with your doctor. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you I've been using it consistently and it has helped me achieve and maintain a healthy weight.